Today, for the first time on the podcast, we've got an 8-figure seller here who is completely opening up his brand and allows us to completely tear apart his listings and storefront and all of his activities that he does on Amazon so that we can learn from it. How cool is that? Pretty cool, I think. Do you want to see how your listing or maybe competitor's listing rates as to best practices for listing optimization? Or maybe you want to compare a group of ASINs or Amazon products to see how they compare to each other. Maybe you want to see within seconds the top keywords for a single listing or a group of listings. You can do that and more with the Helium 10 tool Listing Analyzer. For more information, go to h10.me/listing analyzer. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Serious Sellers Podcast by Helium 10. I'm your host, Bradley Sutton, and this is the show that's a completely BS-free, unscripted, and unrehearsed organic conversation about serious strategies for serious sellers of any level in the e-commerce world. So welcome to the show. This is your first time on the show, so what I always like to do is kind of like get your superhero origin story. Were you born and raised around this area, or where do you come from?
Yeah, I was born and raised around the Kearney Mesa area, so deep into San Diego. And then over the years...
What high school did you go to?
I went to two. I went to a private school, Claremont Christian, and then I switched over to Madison.
Oh, Madison. Yes, I know. Yeah. We played them in basketball sometimes. Okay, cool. And then did you go to college after that?
Yeah, I did. I did my first 2 years up in the Bay Area, Marin County, at a college called Dominican University, and then I came back to San Diego, and finished at USD.
So you like doing this 2-year and 2-year thing throughout your scholastic career, huh?
Not even that, man. I like my first like big job was on the East Coast with Liz Claiborne. So I stayed out there 2 years, and I came back and settled back in San Diego. Okay, all right. You were a Torero then, right? Yes, I was a Torero, and so.
All right, excellent. So, what was your major at USD?
USD, Business Emphasis International Trade.
Okay, and is that upon graduation? Is that what you kind of got yourself into, or what did you?
So the first company I worked with was a candle manufacturer, and I was doing some international customer service, and then I was running the logistics after that, and then totally something completely different. I got the opportunity to join Liz Claiborne, and I ended up part-time in their vendor managed inventory department and part-time in their business reengineering, and then rolled full-time into their business reengineering department. So I was there for 2 years and did a variety of projects, learned a lot.
What does that mean? What did you say? Business reengineering?
Business reengineering was a big term back in the late 90s, mid 90s, late 90s. You're basically looking at how to make your business efficient. Going through doing process breakdowns, looking at how you could just collapse steps, tasks, running a lot of SOPs.
Now, how did you get into, what was your first entry into the Amazon world?
First entry to the Amazon world, funny enough, is second company after I worked for coming back to San Diego. I stuck in the apparel industry. Then I ended up getting into book wholesale as a buyer. This was back when Amazon was only books. And they did have some, key strategic partnerships like Toys R Us and other ones that they ended up putting out of business. But my last probably 6 months, at that company, I inherited into my buying responsibilities Amazon as a customer. We're as a wholesaler.
But on the book side,
so trying to figure out missed opportunities and other things, making sure we're buying accordingly. So I was getting their. When I took over, they gave me their. The missed opportunities feed. So it was amazing. Just like the sheer amount of volume of books they were looking for. And so that always stuck with me. And then
what is, just fast forward to the end, like, what did you guys end, like last year in sales? I can just see in Helium 10, just the first page of your storefront, looks like there's about, $2-3 million worth of sales there on the first page, and you've got pages and pages more products. So around where you guys, what kind of revenue you guys do in a year?
We did almost 13. We'll do somewhere between 15 and 16 this year.
Okay, all right,
so, million to be.
Yeah, excellent. So, what was it when you started? When you got there?
It's $3 million change. So it's been a great journey. I mean, there's I mean, it's been this crazy journey, crazy experiences. I mean, Amazon is always evolving, always changing, never stays stagnant. So
Tell me a little about the brand though. Like, is this, I know who, some major brands are, but was this a brand that is in brick and mortar a lot? Is it purely an online brand?
no, we're a mix. So we do D2C through our own website. We're in brick and mortar, Target, Walmart, Sprouts, since you're in the area, and some other regional grocery chains. And we're on Amazon Canada, Walmart USA, as a 3P seller in addition as a 1P. And we're.
I see you have a climate. What did you have to use to apply to get Climate Pledge friendly here?
I didn't have to apply for anything. It was by the nature of our package design. Amazon, how we package things, it's mainly on our ground, how we package our ground coffee in the compact size, the weight, and the dimensions. It just automatically gave it to us. I'm not complaining at all. Badges are badges. They catch attention.
Yeah, I like those. I also noticed just here that you utilize 20% off coupons on a lot of your things. So like, I'm assuming you've tested a lot of different things, discounts and coupons and things, and this green thing and this 20% number seems to perform best for you, or?
It does. Kind of hopefully none of my competitors are listening to this, but I mean, we get a 20% conversion on a 20%, and that's kind of the math on it. We've tried lower, and the conversion doesn't pencil out.
And so this is like an evergreen thing you kind of have on most of your SKUs. Huh?
It's an evergreen thing. I call it the drug because we can't get off of it. Slowly trying to whittle down. On some things we've slowly removed, but for the majority, yeah. We're for everyone who doesn't know VitaCup, we're a functional coffee. And functional means that we've infused our product with vitamins and superfoods to give you something a little bit more. So we're a premium product within the coffee ecosystem. And so we need to entice the consumer for trial. And that's what the 20% does. We're a consumable product. So we're always trying to build a flow of people coming in and moving them from trial to subscribe and save. Because as a consumable product, that's where the money is, and how you make yourself profitable.
Talk to me about your launch strategy. As a established brand, and you've got so many SKUs and so many customers on subscribe and save. Do you promote to an off Amazon audience? Like, hey guys, we just launched on Amazon. Are you just doing launch like a regular Amazon seller who's starting from scratch? Doing some discounted PPC, or since you're such a strong brand, are you just able to launch at regular price and nothing's, no special campaigns, and you can get to page one for the keywords that you need to?
What I'm going to say is thank goodness for the honeymoon period you get on launch. If you start, it's kind of a loaded question, even for an established brand that has relevancy within the space in which you're always launching to. If you start looking at how many paid spots versus organic spots within your organic search, you have to have a PPC strategy there. You're not going to succeed even with that honeymoon period, because the honeymoon period is going to push you up in organic ranking. You're going to have first page, but start breaking down the rows. You got sponsored brand, then you got the first four rows of the supposedly search results are all paid. And then the fifth one is organic. And then below that, you have more paid. And then you have highly featured, which is all paid to play. And then, so really, it's like when you get that fifth and sixth rows, that's when you start getting organic search. But how many people really scroll down there? So yes, we launch with a very strategic PPC strategy, knowing what keywords that we want to target on. We bake those keywords into the listings, title, bullet points, A+ content. We're also,
looks like you have premium A+ content.
Yes. So
you're using.
Yeah. So I don't know if the offer's still going on, but we saw that if you applied the brand story to all of your products, it unlocked A+ content for you. And we took advantage of that. And I really love it because there's different components, video and other stuff that you can get.
Yeah, I didn't even realize. I mean, that's how I figured this was premium, because I was like, wait a minute, I don't remember videos being an regular A plus content being a thing. Wait, there we go.
Yeah. And
Oh, wow.
what I have to say is you really want the premium A plus content, because it really then goes back down to how the consumer is searching for product. And it's not desktop. The majority of searches are going through mobile. And if you look at that, I'm not 100% happy of how the layout is. But if you take that, look at that same layout on mobile device, the experience is really great.
Interesting.
And yeah, and that's what you want. We've been optimizing our search experience for mobile for probably the last 3 years. We had a gut before they released the data that you get out of business reports on what the percentage of experience was via mobile, via desktop. And it's been and so as Amazon's releasing this stuff to catch up to that, we've been trying to take advantage of it.
I'm just trying to break, it's rare that, we have bigger companies on here who they don't care about competition, because it's like people, there's not going to be somebody who's like, hey, let me go ahead and start a $13 million tea and coffee pod brand, so you have nothing to fear here. But I like to take advantage that you're opening your brand here. So I just want to get behind some of your strategies. So we talked a little about your coupon strategy here. You've got great images and videos and things. Are you doing these in-house? Are you outsourcing these assets?
We're doing it in-house. I mean, I'm very blessed. So you got to go back to the founding of VitaCup. VitaCup was founded by our CEO, Brandon Fishman. Brandon Fishman before this owned one of the largest, it was a 150 employee internet marketing agency in California. He incubated this company, VitaCup, out of that company, sold the other company off, and focused on this 100%. Coming over with them was the head creative director of that digital marketing agency. So I have my head creative, Irene at VitaCup, who's just a rock star, is 100% digital marketing experience. And so I'm just very fortunate. We get into deep discussions on what we should do for ads. And then on the flip side, I'll tell you, I have her, she's so in tune with it. We can always, we have this philosophy, you can always do better. She's like, hey, you know what? Can we throw up and manage by experiments, or can we run an A/B test on creative? Let's try something new. Everything's always continually in flux and changing. And what can we do just to eke out a couple more conversion points?
Video editing, everything's in-house.
Everything's in-house. I think some of that we might, I think there's a couple services we might use for video that we outsource, but layout, direction is all done in-house.
Here we go. I know you're dialed into Amazon, and you have good connections in Amazon too. They don't get mad that you're using emojis in your bullet points. Nobody's ever frowned.
Let's not talk about that. I don't want them watching this. We haven't been slapped yet. Anytime we do an upload, I know it gets flagged. But
when you upload it, there's a message that
there's
says,
a little,
hey, what's up with these emojis?
Yeah, that's not compliant. And I'm
but
not.
It still lets you do it though.
It still lets me do it.
Okay. To me, that's kind of like the thing. If you're in a category where you're selling white coffin shelves or something, for example, it's really hard to see on a white background. So I've noticed that in those categories, Amazon kind of doesn't mind overall if you don't have complete white background, where it's kind of you know what, in that case, it's the worst that could happen is just they give you a suppression. You have to fix it right away, but it's not like it's going to get your account suspended. So I wonder if this emoji thing might be similar to there, where it's technically not compliant, but Amazon knows that in some categories it actually performs better, and so they're like, you know what, we'll just let this slide unless somebody starts putting a bunch of eggplant emojis or something, on here. But okay, so yeah, I really like the way you have your bullet points set up here. I see that you're doing some defensive product display ads potentially over here.
Yep.
So how do you know? Do you just experiment with bids to see, hey, what's going to get you the position, or what do you do there?
So we have partnered and have been partnered for the last 4 years with an outside AI agency. We have a very successful partnership, and their AI has done us great service and growth over the years. I do recommend. There's only so much you can humanly test, especially when you're scaling at certain levels. I'd recommend to anyone to really check out an AI advertising partner. As a human, like trying to test all those placements, what's working, what's not, and then getting rid of the stuff that's not working, it's not humanly possible at the scale we're working at. It's just too much. So, but it's been great. It's saved me a ton of time.
All right. Next thing I see, moving down the listing here, definitely using some virtual bundles. Like you haven't done them all, but like at least you have this slot here so that it's pushing some of the ads down. I like that strategy. Like what made you just do one here, like one bundle?
So it depends. Like some have all 5 slots. Some have only one. I came up with a matrix on how we were creating them, and I looked at visibility and which ones I started to align to that would make sense. And then since then, on some of these, we're actually starting to create physical bundles, which we're doing through Fulfilled by Merchant. And so we're peeling those off as a virtual bundle. But some of our top performing ASINs, you're gonna see 5 come across. We've been doing that. It's
been a couple of years at least.
Yeah, a couple of years. Yeah, we were first introduced to it, I think, either through Launchpad or SAS, and we immediately. It's free advertising for yourself. You fill up another space. We see great revenue.
No cost per click or anything on there.
No. And then some we just have started to peel on how we can do through FBM, because then we can start running a little more advertising a little bit. There's a little more strategic things we can do to push them that we know that'll cause more growth.
Again, with the defensive ads, so like you do defensive product targeting ads, and you've got the entire row here of products with all your own brand. That's super cool.
Once again, I have to give credit to the AI. They have a really great methodology on that
to be able to check what it takes to get there. Now, obviously you're going to have to bid very high. Are you actually getting conversions in virtual bundles in your defensive ads and things? And is it still worth it?
It's still worth it. Overall, our whole category, we're in a very commoditized, competitive space. And I suspect that the CPC, the bid amount on it, is not that much for the virtual. If you're my competitor, please don't target it and inflate my cost. But I suspect it's not that much because we have all of them filled. If you look at some other high performing listings, we have a good portion of them filled, but not all.
What is this? Just for those who don't have this or don't know, like what section is this? People know about description, people know about A+ content, but from the brand, where can I go in Seller Central if I'm looking at this for the first time, and where can I get this kind of cool widget?
So that is what they call your brand story, and that's what unlocked all of our A+ content during the promotional period. And if I remember correctly, when we put this together, you access it through your A+ content section. And it's another piece of content, graphic, in which you can fill up space, tell a great story. It's going to run across all of yours. I think graphic is important for engagement with the end consumer. It allows one more touch point to keep them longer on your page from breaking concentration and going trying to find something else.
All right. Scrolling down here, we already looked at your premium, or the top part of your premium plus content, the cool video that you have there. Since you have over 100 products, do you have a rhyme and reason as far as what you choose to be the one that you have under this like product grid here under your featured product section here at the bottom?
Yeah, that's a great question. We actually put a lot of thought into that. New product launches, some of it's actually gut. But over time, we actually update and refine these. We start looking under like what's frequently bought together, not just in what Amazon's showing us, but what we're pulling out and hashing through the order files and looking at what people bought together, what makes sense. What do we think that, in addition to that, what do you think people are going to also has a high repeat rate that we want them to introduce them to? So some of it's partly we know there's an affinity for it. we want to highlight something that we know that has used as an advertising spot to promote another product that has a high repeat rate, which if they purchase, there's a higher propensity that they're going to repurchase it, which will lead them to SNS.
I noticed this is in the unique finds category. So like,
I don't know.
Is that on purpose or?
No idea.
Okay. Interesting. Okay.
Amazon bots. We don't know why some things like that occur. As long as sales aren't going down, we're okay.
Yeah. Makes sense. Inspiration from this brand. So wait, are these are your Amazon posts?
These are our Amazon posts. So we're a very big believer in Amazon posts. We were fortunate to be a beta tester on it. And so we embraced it early on. We saw, no idea where the posts actually get posted to. It was all random. It's still random. We still have no idea, but we really did see that it was a great way to, once again, hit a touch point in which we can engage with the end consumer in a meaningful way. And we enjoy looking at how much we continue to grow on followers. And so we know customers are actually ingesting the content.
Now, how many of these are your, own in-house? I mean, some of these look like UGC, some user-generated content.
We repurpose a lot of our UGC content for it. There's no reason.
How are you getting the UGC?
I have a small social media team. They engage with. We have some brand ambassadors and some influencers, and so we have rights to it. And then we also have some rights through some other programs we participate in that we get the UGC content. And then there's just stuff that we've probably requested that we have rights to. So, but having engagement with brand ambassadors really helps on the UGC side.
Have you done the what is it called again? Now that Amazon Post came first, but then Amazon Post allowed you to get brand followers and things, and then isn't there a new thing? I forgot what it's called offhand, but now you can reach out to those brand followers.
So customer engagement tool.
That's the one.
So and that was we've been participating in that since day one. I love it. Absolutely love it. If anyone wants to really stay engaged with a brand they really love on Amazon, go and click follow. Please go and follow VitaCup and go to our brand store and on Amazon and click that little follow button. We will send out a weekly email. It'll be highly graphic. It'll contain 2 graphic images. And we utilize it to not just hit our brand followers, but they rolled out, when was the H10 Sale and Scale?
Around September of last year.
So around September last year, they rolled out 3 new product groups that you can launch to, and some of them are over the last 365. You're people who've bought high repeat, and then there's another. I forget the other segmentation, and 2 of them, maybe 3, you can only hit every 2 weeks. The brand followers you can hit every week, and so we rotate through it. Is
there a call to action anywhere there that you're allowed to do, or is it mainly just kind of informational and keeping people engaged?
So here's the thing: you can't have a call to action. So you have to.
Figured.
So you have to be creative in your wording. Everyone, if you want to know how to be creative, go and follow me. I need more followers on, and you'll start reading on our call to action. But you can get creative on it. That makes it very terms of service compliant. You just have to think about your brand and you have to think about your product. I love it. Everyone has been complaining. There's no way for me to reach out to my customers. There's no way for me to engage into it. It's very restrictive on what you can and can't do. Because let's be honest, over this course of a decade, 2 decades that Amazon's been there, sellers have abused. There's a small portion, but they have abused, so they've had to put rails on, and it's always been that way. From eBay, sellers were abusing to try and make a sale, and a lot of that methodology has shifted over. So I get why Amazon's done a lot of stuff. I get why they have rails on it, but it would be I'm just hopeful they're going to start loosening more and more up as they gain a little more confidence in how sellers are utilizing their tool.
Obviously, if there's a call to, like let's say you're doing Amazon attribution, you're doing an off Amazon campaign, you could see the kind of impact it's going to have. PPC, you can see the impact. With Amazon posts and the engagements and stuff, there's not per se an ROI tool where you can see. So how are you gauging success, and how are you gauging the attention you need to give? Like you just said, you've got this weekly cadence now where you're sending this out, but like, how do you know that effort is worth it? Like what kind of metrics are you even looking at?
So we look at like for a send day, especially on one of the bigger engagement groups, we're like, did we see a spike in sales on the product that we're featuring in there? Is there, or in any of it, is there, because we're always trying to test out different creative. Like, is there a creative, like it popped? Okay, what creative was it? Let's log that in. Next time we send that creative out, did it pop again? Is there certain creative types that the consumer is engaging more with? Amazon posts, one of the metrics we always have looked at is just followers. How is our followers group growing? And the same we're doing with the live, Amazon Live. It's have we seen an above average normal growth in followers when we do an Amazon Live? So there's not these hardcore KPIs you can like ingest in and how successful it is, but I think if you can grow who's your consumer group on who's following you, and you can track it, I think that's a good KPI, because the broader the group, the more you're going to be able to retarget them in customer engagement, and the more people are going to see stuff about your brand. Are
you in charge of your Walmart listings as well?
Yes, and we're continuing to go and try and refine that. It's a different beat.
You've got like 7,000 reviews on one of your Walmart. Did you use that one thing where you can migrate reviews over, or are these 7,000 actual Walmart reviews?
No, we engaged with a couple different companies that are out in that space.
The ones that can take reviews. And
so
wouldn't it be nice if Amazon offered that?
It would be great. So yes, we're able to port all of them over. We're still really trying. We're still young in the Walmart 3P space. We're still really trying.
How's sales on Walmart? At the same, 13 million on Amazon. How about Walmart in that same time period?
No, I'll do $1,000 a day. So we're looking at about 30K, but so it's not much. I really like the way they're going. I really equate, history tends to repeat itself. Fortunately, I got to live between the eBay to Amazon transition, and I really see that going on right now with Amazon and Walmart. I think Amazon's still going to retain major relevance. eBay definitely has its niches. I still sell some collectibles. I'll flip collectibles on eBay, and I think it's a great platform for that and some other stuff. But Amazon came to all the sellers and was like, how dare eBay give you non-US customer support? How eBay hates your sellers. They abuse you. And it was in the early days. Amazon was incredible. You'd always get someone in the US on the phone. It would be easy to get through issues. And now Amazon's become what they scoffed at eBay. There's only in the online marketplace, no one has really figured out how to really scale and manage that growth to mass. And I think that's what we're going through now. And I think it's interesting that we're seeing Walmart at this point in time really starting to scale up. It almost feels very strategic. It almost feels like what Amazon did to eBay. And I think they have a huge opportunity to have long-term growth. And definitely we're starting to invest more time and energy into the Walmart side.
All right. Going back to Amazon, I just noticed one of your listings here. Looks like it's got like 100 different variations here. So
yeah.
What's the thought process here? Because you that green tea that we were breaking down only has like 2 or 3 and a couple others, and I'm just looking at 1 million variations here. So like, what was the thought process to have so many here as opposed to splitting some of these out?
So part of the thought process is we found, and as our catalog's grown, this has grown, like varying it together. People, if they click initially, and it all has to do with like thought process and funneling them in. If someone clicks on our listing, they're intrigued about a functional coffee. They're intrigued about finding some type of improvement that they can get through their day, through their morning cup of coffee or afternoon cup of coffee, whether it be our Genius Blend, our Slim Blend, our Focus Blend. Each has different superfoods addressing different needs. It allows them for discovery. They might click in on Genius, but they might end up on Focus Blend, which is a mushroom and coffee blend, or they might go towards our Extra Shot, which is a dark roast coffee with a shot of espresso in it, plus some B vitamins, which I'm drinking right now. Like if you need to pick me up, that'll do it. It's my afternoon pick me up for me. So it allows us, and then I'm gonna be honest, like it gets us. You look at it, we have 20,000 reviews because of it aggregated together. Yep. Gets us up higher on the BSR. There is some visibility being in the first page of bestseller ranking. People shop that. The closer you can get to the top, the more draft you're going to get. So
yep, you're number 54 in single serve coffee caps. This is where it comes in. Like most of us, or maybe I'm thinking from Helium 10 standpoint, but from a lot of other sellers too, like didn't like when Amazon changed to give one single BSR for a whole variation, because then you can't really, It
screwed up how you guys are scraping stuff. Like your formula, not scraping, but like you're calculating off. Yeah,
nobody can calculate. Nobody can calculate. Overall, like but the number refers to the estimated sales is for everything now put together. But without looking at reviews, you don't know which one is selling. But now all of a sudden, you might not have had one SKU that could crack the top 100 in a sub BSR or main BSR category, but now you're showing up. So now, but all these variations that you have on this one, do you also have standalone listings for like this flavor or something?
No.
So that
it's
so the only way I can find this Vita Cup Extra Shot coffee plus espresso is in this variation family here.
Not necessarily. We're also running PPC against it. So so for search, and we do rank an organic search for each individual one under keywords. So and then when it comes up, you're gonna going back to, you're gonna see that 20% coupon. You're gonna see the total number of reviews. So, and you're gonna see a great image that clearly says what the product is. Our images are very strategic on how we design packaging for Amazon.
Now, this is just a bunch of stuff that I can see, looking at your storefront and things, but what haven't we talked about? Like, what are some strategies that you guys are utilizing that you think a lot of sellers might not be like? Do you have any unique things that you're doing that we haven't mentioned?
I don't know. A lot of stuff. I mean, I can kind of go through some high level stuff that we do, and I think we really take a really hardcore approach. Is we've maintained our data since 2017 when the company's was created. So we really understand our cohorts and how we grow it, and making sure that the customers that we continue to add to it are repeating through that, and the percentages is going. And then we really have been focused on understanding what our product repeat rates are. And then you can get into one of our big successes is striking a balance between what I'd call short-term revenue versus long-term revenue. You can have a product that is the bids are cheap, has a lot of people searching for it. You can sell that thing all day long, and you can funnel a lot of advertising money into it, and you can have great short-term sales, but you're building no long-term revenue because the repeat rates is much lower on it, versus where you have a product where the repeat rate is phenomenal. Like the odds are people are, when they most of the people are going to buy it, they're going to repeat it. It might be a slower mover, but then we're fine tuning our advertising to how our products perform on that basis, and then still balancing out. We need short-term revenue to grow, and then from that, it allows you to grow. You start putting the people in a funnel to get them into SNS, and then SNS is just reoccurring revenue, easy money. Mm-hmm. So
are you taking, like most people in groceries and other categories like this, you taking a loss on your initial pay-per-click, but then completely fine with it because knowing that you're making it up on the subscribe and save, or you're still even profitable on that first touch?
I would say we are not profitable on new product launches.
Mhm.
That's where we take the loss on building that segment. But at this point, when it's established product, even on the first click, we're profitable.
Awesome. All right. Anything else that you can talk about that you think is beneficial for people?
Understand your business and the market in which you're operating. I live in, and we've talked about this, you and I offline. Is like I live in Product Opportunity Explorer, and there's a lot of stuff I can garner from there, and there's a lot of stuff I bang between Product Opportunity Explorer, looking at listings and pulling stuff in for the refinement through X-Ray when I'm on those competitor listings that they're identified, and then stuff taking in and aggregating data through Helium 10 when I'm looking at the reverse ASIN lookup. And it's
So Product Opportunity Explorer, like looking for new potential flavors or things that people are looking for, or what?
yeah, looking for innovation, and also just the ecosystem can change over time on Amazon, and just looking at what keywords are being searched. Is there a switch to that? I can tell you on some certain categories that we've seen different keywords switch over the last year, and we were able to jump on that and launch some new advertising to specifically address that, and also to then, excuse me, to then further bake those into the back end of our listings on the back end search terms, and some meta places on A+ content and bullet points. I mean, you can continually improve. Like there's nothing about setting and forgetting it. Like you're always going to have a competition out there who's going to try and be better than you. So you better be on your A game and try and be better than them.
Yeah, for sure. Favorite Helium 10 tool
right now? X-Ray, Chrome extension. I probably use it every day. Like I'm in Product Opportunity Explorer every day. I'm looking at competitors. It's very tactical, functional, easy to use. You're right there. You click on it. It pops up, what I need to digest really quickly. Is something changing? Is something I wasn't figuring a keyword that they're probably on? And it gives me, understanding that gives me, I can go out and take immediate action and do something.
All right. So last thing, like maybe, is there something that you think a lot of sellers are kind of like, maybe forgetting about, or they're trying, because it's too tedious, or it's just like seems like a no-brainer that that you think people might be leaving money on the table? Like, is there something that you do with like just general reports that has given you insight and actually made you take action on something that you probably think that 90% of the sellers out there aren't doing?
Yeah, I would say the brand analytics report. You got two. You got the search query performance, and you got the catalog. Like search query performance is great just to understand what you have relevancy on. For us, functional coffee, we actually saw some keywords in it that we really weren't addressing in a functional way. We actually launched a product based off that a couple of years ago. And then second was the catalog performance. Like 2 days ago, boss and I were like, we had some time, and we on a regular basis will go through and look at how can we improve our performance. We went to catalog performance. We extracted out a large number of weeks data, and to get a trend line on the click-through rate to see, if we have products that have high repeat rates but low click-through rate, what can we do? Like, let's review those products on their images, their titles. Is the coupon right? Is all those different things? Because if you can get someone to click in, it means a whole lot of world. You have them, and then what you do with them on that real estate that you have on your product page, you need to convert them. So it's like half the battle is getting them to click in. So we were able to make some quick changes in some messaging. We reallocated some of the wording to make sure that some of the things we're trying to communicate were probably in the first 72, 75 characters of the title, so that would pick up more on mobile. So since that's where the majority of the shopping experience is, and then we'll go back in about another 2 weeks, and we'll take a look again on the CTR and see did that work out? Did the CTR go up?
All right. Well, cool. This has been cool to kind of I don't think I've done something this deep, like as far as like going through the anatomy of somebody's account or somebody's listings like this. And the
hopefully I don't get any calls from
I
hope my boss doesn't get any calls from our board of directors. You gave too much information out.
It's good. I know you as much as he gave out, guys. There's stuff that we can't even talk about, that they do here. So he's got plenty up his sleeve. I'm sure they'll be fine. So this is kind of cool. Thanks for opening it up and I know you've been offering to me. I just actually, while I was on this call, I shared it in my little group chat with my family, the link to your store, because that green tea has intrigued me, and then you had a couple other ones that I think we might want to try. For whatever reason, I didn't realize that you guys had pods and the packs too. So I'm definitely going to try some of these products. Everybody else out there, VitaCup on Amazon, follow them and take advantage of that 20% discount that they've got on other products. Support a local Helium 10 member here.
And if you want a great deal, something we just got approval on yesterday, April 25th, we're going to have a top deal. And it's going to be minimum 30% off.
And if people want to find you on the interwebs, is LinkedIn the best place?
That's going to be probably the only place, unfortunately.
All right, so look up, or can you spell your last Jason, and then can you spell your last name?
Sure. Last name's McLell, A as in Apple, N as in Nancy.
All right, Jason, thank you so much for joining. I'm going to be inviting you. I know you're not an elite member yet. We've been trying to get you to see the light, but I might invite you to our next workshop in end of May, and so you can come check out what you've been missing out on.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
All right, we'll talk to you later.